I straight up can't commit to the bit, bro. I just love the yap! What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do mean to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. Yeah, fun fact. Yeah! Come on now. Come on. Like,
are you really surprised? Are you really bamboozled?
is this the thing that's really going to break your immersion? Of course. It's peak clock. It's literally peak every week. So you don't have to pre-draw it. And I will also admit, I can't do the short video thing, man. Not consistently. I can do it every once in a while. Who knows? But I thought about it. I just can't do it. I don't know. It's just not as fun. It's not as fun as sitting here yapping. So, yeah. It lasted all of, what, 3 videos? One of them, which was an April Fool's video. We'll do our best. We'll do our best. I'm sorry. I'll try to. Well, three. I did talk about Odays, Kagurabachi, and Ichi the Witch. So I did my best. But let's not waste more time. Let's hop right into chapter 341, Choice for the Future. And I'm excited. Of all the characters, they get a little itty bitty ooze. And I mean ooze with a capital O-O-Z-E. Ooze of Glaze. I was not really expecting it to be Kunigami. Kunigami of all characters. So I'm excited. Let's not waste any more time and let's hop right into it. Rensuke Kunigami-sama. So I don't know why it's always funny. I mean, I get it. It's like just a way of addressing respect, but like hearing Ego call somebody else Lord, like I'm pretty sure that's what Sama means, Lord. Like, especially considering what he literally told Kunigami. Like, it's hilarious how we glaze over the fact that, yeah, Ego did just physically and presumably mentally absolutely annihilate this poor teenager. But now he's like, Rensuke Kunigami-sama. We aren't going to forget that, Ego. We aren't going to forget that you told this man to abandon his ego. The thing that you were, unironically, the thing that you were getting on Karasu for, you told Kunigami to do. So, we're not going to let that hypocrisy slide. I can't call him a young man. Ego's like 30. Then again, what does that say about me? What does that say about me? Is he really 30? How old is Ego? Do we know? I feel like we have to know. Ego's probably like 35. I mean, I hazard a guess. Hold on. Ego Jinpachi. How old are you, brother? How old are you? I genuinely... Ego Jinpachi. 31. Oh, so I literally got it right. He is 30, and now he's 31 and currently in the manga. So, look at your boy. But let's see. Rensuke Kunigami-sama. The answer lies in battle. Become the ultimate physical combat warrior. The special training I gave him. Interesting. I mean, funnily enough, Kunigami's always been, like, associated with fighting, but he's never, like, done it. Like, specifically, I remember his interaction with SHIDOU during the match against Isagi, where Kunigami got knocked down to the wild card. Even before that, Kunigami was always, like, described as the physical powerhouse and seemed to be always, like, adjacent to some form of combat. So I guess it makes sense that they're just fully speccing him into a combat build. You might as well. Especially considering he's just... It seems like any dreams of him being, like, a striker, even one of the, like, main four? Because I feel like the main four is SHIDOU, Barou, Isagi, and Rin, right? Like, I feel like that's the main 4 strikers of bluelock Japan. Right? I mean, like, you could say Bachira, but not really. You could say Chigiri, but not really, man. I don't know. But essentially, it feels like Kunigami's dreams of becoming #1 are lost, absolutely gone in the sauce. So I do feel bad for the boy. But hey, if you're going to spec him out right. Let's see. The special training I gave him focused on honing the sense of spacing needed for combat sports, as well as building the sort of physique that will keep him on his feet in physical collisions. So not just getting him used to combat, but getting him used to taking hits. That is smart. My baby! When are they gonna let you touch the pitch again? I know he literally touched the pitch in the last game. I don't care, bro. Let my son out. Let him out. Let my son out. Let my baby boy out. I see you. Honestly, you can call it straight hopium and copium, but see, how do you can call it straight hopium and copium, but I think Nomura likes drawing Corona. Because he's always in these background shots, right? Like, no matter what, if there's a background shot in a chapter, especially if there are multiple, you are almost guaranteed to see my baby boy. And I think it's because Nomura Sensei knows how goated he is. So put him on the pitch. But regardless, let's see. Oh, just Higo and Kunigami specs. That does make sense, especially since he's been basically re-kitted into a defender, right? He's like, if I'm not mistaken, haven't read Aoshi. Will I ever? What do you think? But regardless, I believe that's what happened to the main character of that manga. Like, he wanted to be a striker, and then he was just like, his coach was like, you'd be better on defense. And Ego basically did the same thing to Kunigami, which is very interesting, especially since, if we remember, the wild card was meant to essentially recreate another Noel Noah. And not recreate, just create one, right? It was supposed to make Noel Noah 2, Electric Boogaloo. And clearly, Ego's like, not really. And then just put him in a defense role. But it's interesting. I guess it is the idea of, like, what would Noel Noah be like if he became a defenseman. But at the same time, defenseman? Wrong sport, defender. And at the same time, I guess it also, funnily enough, does parallel Snuffy, who Noah specifically praised and gave a lot of aptitude to his black belt in, I believe, Jujutsu, right? And that allowed him for strong core control, his fantastic understanding of how to interact in certain physical scenarios. Like, ultimately, it was the side of combat that gave Snuffy the edge for Noel Noah, the number one striker, to be like, oh yeah, he's literally the best player in the world. he's actually good with this house like that. Not me. I mean, I may be the number one striker, man, but like player, like greatest man to ever touch a soccer ball right now. That's Snuffy. So Kunigami getting put in that same position is interesting. Will he rise up to be the greatest in the world? We'll see. Those are useful assets for a striker, of course, but they'll be the weapons that make him excel in any position. And yeah, that's the one thing, right? I talked about the idea of, like, well, maybe Kunigami's dreams of ever being a striker man are fried, but I believe what was his name? Roberto Carlos? I think maybe that was his name. There is that one defender that I keep seeing clips of who, like, would just have the ball at his feet, run halfway up the field, and then cannonball it straight into the net. So it's not like it's impossible for Kunigami to absolutely tweak out and go crazy on the ball and still score and something like that. And obviously, Ego can just put him in different places. But naturally, especially if you're running a hyper offense format already, do you really need Kunigami as a fifth man in the hyper offense, or would you rather have him used defensively? I wouldn't really even use him as a facilitator. I would just use him defensively like Ego is, specifically because we have Barou, SHIDOU, Rin, and Isagi out all in the pitch right now. I mean, sure, more options are always better, but yeah, use him where he can be used, at least effectively. So that's why you swap Kunigami-kun as a defensive midfielder this half? Oh, but he's still a midfielder. He is a DMF, so he's not just a defenseman, which I guess makes sense. That's a interesting way to balance him. So he still has the potential to do some solid facilitating. Presumably he's about to do some facilitating right now, considering he blocked the ball. But let's see. Oh no! I had to stop scratching my eye. Oh no, it feels so good. Don't scratch my eye, but it's gonna feel bad, so stop. Let's see. Oh, alright, second ball. Alright. Right. Oh, what? Hey! Ego actually telling Henri she's right? Well, butter my behind and call me a biscuit. Things I never thought I'd see happen. Let's see. Right. Oh, okay, so we have dude whose name I don't remember, Charles, right next to SHIDOU, which is hilarious. Let's see. Right. By using him at the same time as Ryusei SHIDOU and Shohei Barou, we made it easy to counterattack since we have so many players on offense. That's why this match, Rensuke Kunigami will use his body as a shield to disrupt and interrupt France's counters. Interesting. So yeah, really just turning him into a workhorse. But I guess, like, I hope the other defensemen, specifically Ryu, please Ryu, do something. But I hope they are able to help him, right? Because obviously I doubt Kunigami will gas. He's probably, built to not gas. But still, he can't be everywhere at once. And as we've already seen, while it's nice to have a good solid 1v1 counter, it is still very, very true that Loki, Charles, and presumably Hugo all can individually score. And Kunigami can't be in 3 places at once. He can't be, right? He was lucky enough to really be in front of Loki that time. Locking in on him. So I do hope Kunigami gets some help. Are you? You may be like, what about Aiku? Aiku's goated. He doesn't have to worry about him. Are you? We'll see. To interrupt France's counters. He's our defensive tank. Oh, I still feel so bad, bro. Like, you can tell that boy is still traumatized, bro. Like, obviously, a little bit of the light has come back to his eyes. The bags aren't as deep. But, like, Kunigami may unironically be, well, presumably next to Mr. Kaiser Impact, but he may legit be one of the most tragic characters in the manga of the modern times, right? I'd say that, right? A lot of Kaiser's, like, worst stuff, a lot of Nessa's worst stuff, it's heavily contextualized in their backstories, which we do get in the current manga, but that obviously isn't happening at the time of the narrative. very specifically Kunigami, this guy's been doing nothing but going through it, man. And now he's just forced to tank out. And which I'm assuming he's okay with, but probably not the thing he wanted to do, right? It's like when you're given a role and you're like, well, job's gotta get done somehow, even if you yourself have absolutely no investment in that role. Basically the same thing Kunigami's going through right now. Whoa, Kunigami! Nice save, Burlygami. Funnily enough, though, I feel like he looks a little. Well, I think it's just the arms. I think he should look a little bit more beefy here for a defensive tank, but I think his head is slightly. Well, maybe no. I think it is just his torso. His torso needs to be a bit like just put an air pump on him. Just go 1, 2, 3, and then boom. Then Kunigami should be good. Let's see. Oh, speak of him, and he shot. Are you? If you actually cook here, I'm gonna have to take back everything I've ever said about you, dog. Because I was legit just talking on that smack. And look who gets the second ball over to this guy too. Let's see. Oh, keep it going. The tables have turned, folks. BL Japan. What Japan? What Japan? BL Japan. What do you mean by that? Let's see. BL Japan is making its counterattack. Up. And there goes Isagi. Man, I'm still very, I'm now so flippy floppy wishy. Oh, okay, so he already got the ball, and now Loki's forced to. Oh, wait, no, is that Loki? That's not Loki. But essentially, yeah, Loki's only back here. But it is very interesting how much I flip-flop whether or not I want Isagi to score this game. Do I really want Isagi to undergo an absolute loss on his own individually? Maybe it is time, because I feel like it has been a while. Even the last loss, quote unquote, Isagi had in the game where he just didn't score at all was Manshine, and even then, realistically, you wouldn't even say it's Manshine. It's realistically Barcha, right? Because in Manshine, he had a specific motivation, an idea in mind for what he wanted to do and how he wanted to do it. In that case, that ended up using Yukimiya, and very specifically going out of his way to not score. But for here, in terms of would Isagi scoring undermine the whole egoism is imperfect as they understand it right now, and it needs an evolution sort of theme that's going on? Maybe? I mean, it depends on if Isagi evolves and fuses the two formats, right? If he fuses egoism and the suitable destiny philosophy, or takes the barely good stuff with suitable destiny philosophy, I think then maybe that's one thing for him to score. But at the same time, I do kind of see the vision where Hugo just acts as a cloud over Isagi. He can still win, he can still get to the elimination stages, all that, but he just doesn't beat him. That genuinely, that would be crazy, because it hasn't happened in so long. But I'm not gonna say I wouldn't lean around with it. Let's see. Hiko-san's plan is working. Karasu is still the center of our attacks. That'll let me focus on moving behind the main formation and striking at the enemy's weak spots. A shadow striker, a false 9, if you will. I don't know about ball. I don't know if either is true, but interesting. This is the two-sided strategy Hiko-san devised. So let's strike back in the second half. But the thing is, right? Isagi, my brother and Beat, I think you're honestly better off as me. Because they're gonna unfortunately, Isagi, you disappearing into the Shadow Realm is actually one of the main things you're known for. The fact that you pop out of literally nowhere is kind of, not gonna say it's your thing, but I'm not gonna say it's not. Isagi, this is kind of your ball, brother. And I'm assuming Hugo is still probably watching you and has more than enough specs to at least quickly deal some sort of lockdown. And of course, we do have other faster players on France who could probably just have been told to keep an eye on Isagi, just make sure he doesn't do anything. Because obviously, I feel like Hugo's micro goal, obviously his macro goal is winning the World Cup 4 times, but his micro goal in this game specifically is to tear down Isagi as much as possible, right? Devalue his abilities as a striker, devalue his meta vision, devalue literally everything Isagi is. That's what I presume this is. But let's see. Let us strike back in the second half. Okay, Hiyori passes through this guy over to Rayo. Run! We're keeping up with France the better than the first half. Leave it to me. It's wearing on our opponents. Ugh, this back and forth is rough. Isn't that, brother? I mean, to be fair though, as someone who was also in the sprinter archetype, man, it was always painful to do like the back and forth. Or realistically, fully enough, I think the exercise that sticks with me the most isn't even the 400, it's the 300. Because it's just enough. It's even in my back peak prime super lean days, it was just enough to be over my hypothetical stamina limit, bro. Like, yeah, absolutely. I'm more than down to run that distance. But, like, on occasion, it would just be too physically, it'd be too physically draining to run that full 300 meters over and over and over again. And clearly, this is running on diminishing returns. And obviously, this goes to show that not everyone on France is the level of a Hugo or a Charles or a Loki, which I also do think is good. Unfortunately, in series like these, you can't have everyone be cracked, or else you're going to wonder why these characters could ever lose. But by showing that some of France's team is fallible, especially one of their alternate win cons, quote unquote, in this guy, I think it is a good thing. It's a good thing that allows for narrative balance for the long run, right? Because ultimately, I still don't think Japan's going to win the game, right? As much as my opinions have, shifted left and right, up and down, all around about Isagi in particular scoring, I don't think my opinion on, Japan winning or losing the game has changed. I think they're going to lose. I think they darn near have to lose. I don't think it would really make sense. I know we have Bunny later on. I know we have Kaiser later on. But I don't think it'd make sense to set up France as the strongest generation in the world or the strongest team in the world and have Isagi and crew beat them in the not even elimination stage. That'd be really weird. But let's see. Stick on him! But one thing is still nagging me. Or nagging at... Oh, wait, no, he's going to rail now. All right. Hello. You won't get away. And unfortunately, Hugo, as much as I don't like the general broad application of his suitable destiny theory, so far he's been spitting in terms of his prediction. So far, no one has gotten away. The only person to truly ever get away from it is a person he wasn't expecting to cook in the way that he did, right? You do need to simultaneously exceed and also work around his expectations, fully enough. It's very weird to think about it. But for Hugo, if you're doing something within your field, but you're doing it a little bit further beyond, Hugo's clearly been shown to be able to be okay, that's kind of predictable, right? Sure, you went on 120% of your potential, but I prepped for 150% of your potential. For Karasu, he had to fundamentally change his entire playstyle in a way, and specifically change the way he was applying himself to the point where it fit into Hugo's philosophy, which he just wasn't ready for. He wasn't ready for Kaiser, or no, not Kaiser. He wasn't ready for Karasu. I don't know everybody went Kaiser. Well, because I love Kaiser. But he didn't expect Karasu to fall down his path that quickly. He wasn't even talking to him. Karasu was an unexpected factor. So they do need more unexpected factors. And unfortunately, Rayo, despite having schmicks to the moon and back, he's not exactly an unexpected factor. Let's see. You've got good eyes, butterfly lashes. Oh yeah, I guess they are butterfly. I never thought about it. Yeah, I guess they are butterfly lashes. Let's see. I still can't visualize how to beat Hugo. Okay. Well, color me surprised. I mean, I guess that is one of those things which does happen, right? Especially for any of my fellow artists out there, you know that feeling where you want to do something, you want to materialize something in your head and then put that thing to paper or to digital or whatever your art form is, and for some reason you just can't. Right? It's just, for some reason, the dog's just not in you that day. It happens. It genuinely does happen. Where you're sitting there and you're like, I just don't, I don't know. And of course, it's worse, obviously, and I can still relate this to art for what he's going through. Because he has what he wants to do, he's just not doing it, right? And I've had those moments too, where I know what I want to draw, but it's just not, it's not clicking. So some synapse in my brain is refusing to fire. And that's essentially what he's going through here. Where he has the plan, he has the specific endpoint, he has the goal, but he just doesn't know how to path his way there. And that's true to form. And I don't know, man. As much as I do love and glaze Isagi, I love seeing him struggle. Let's see. Oof. If I became this team's second best and totally focused on passing, it would get easier to attack, but that's the thing you'd be giving up. And the idea. And I've seen this consistent back and forth, especially since Cam Sagi became a real proper thing. We have 3 real strikers. I'm putting quotes up Rin and Barou and SHIDOU aren't real strikers, but we have 3 real core strikers running forward, and Isagi is just center attacking midfielder. I've seen a lot of people really push this idea that, oh well, Isagi's already done this, right? Isagi's been given up on being a striker before. specifically the PXG game being used as a reference, and I still say no to that one in particular, right? You can definitely argue in Barcha, he did give up, right? He flat out gave up on scoring his own goal, so he used Kunigami. He just needed to get value. He specifically in arguably Manshine with his plan with Yukimiya, that technically was Isagi completely giving up on it, if only for an alternative reason so he could still become a crazy striker. For here and now, Isagi's options are give up and cope as being world number 2, or fail to visualize something. And obviously, both genuinely suck. Let's see. I'd just be doing what Hugo described, and trying to be suitable for the sake of victory. And that's not the role Ego-san wants for me. But is the role, what about the role you want for yourself, Isagi? And funnily enough, it is still, the one thing I will give is the idea that Isagi has admitted in the past that he's more than willing to destroy himself to become a machine exclusively for goals, right? That's like a mutation that Isagi's willing to undergo. But in this case, you can still tell the difference, right? That balance between like, oh yeah, I'll become a living machine for goals. But when he says that, he doesn't just mean goals for other people, he means his own goals as well. What Hugo is essentially telling him to do is give up on your own goal. Stop it. What are you doing? Relax, chill. Even though Hugo's clearly shown the capacity to score his own goals whenever he feels like it too. So Isagi can actualize that, but he can't actualize it. He knows what it is, but he just can't do it just yet. Let's see. If I'm gonna live as the world's best striker, I've got to find a new theory to beat Hugo with my own goals. Yeah, and that's gonna be the difficult part, right? Because ultimately, I do think the idea of just yelling ball, like just balling out to the best of your ability is valid in cases where your balling out could like actually extend beyond what someone could predict, right? Like, for example, if you've been, this is why coaches always say go all out in practice, because you may not be able to go all out in the actual moment. But there are times where you just hold something back a little bit for a long time, and then you finally have the incentive to just raw and then go absolutely insane. But for Isagi, he doesn't have that. If he wiles out, he was just gonna be like, okay, nice temper tantrum, time to shut you down again, because he just outstats Isagi right now. So Isagi's going to have to combine his base stats with an idea so ridiculous, a transcendence of egoism and suitable destiny, in order to even score a singular goal here. Will he do it? I still don't know. Part of me low-key doesn't want him to. Part of me wants him to fail again, or like fail fully and like get nothing. But we'll see. With my own goals. Oh! So I've been speaking characters into existence this chapter. Bro, we was just talking about your real striker behind. Let's see. You're not yourself, loser. I can't smell a goal from you. I can't. I don't know. Somebody just tickles my soul, bro. Somebody. I can't smell a goal from you. You put on deodorant today. I'm not so funny to me. But interesting. You know, this won't be the first time that Barou's been responsible for like a massive boost to a character, especially a hypothetical main one. But I guess it does make sense, right? Especially since Barou has sort of defined himself, especially when they're on the same team, has defined himself by being the darkness to Isagi's light. He is in a position where his sun isn't shining, so he has no shadow to cast. It's just a void of nothingness. So he's like, dude, you're like something's not right with you, gang. And that is true, right? It's like, it's always in the little things where you can tell something's off with someone you know really well. And at this point, Barou and Isagi do know and understand each other very well. So this is probably Barou's way of giving a pep talk, I guess. Let's see. According to Ego's orders, the plan was for me to exploit your moves to score goals, but you're useless. Whoa! I mean, sometimes you do need that kick, though. Sometimes, honestly, getting slandered is the best way to somehow lock in. I don't know what it is. It's like a weird binding vow, right? The second one gets slandered, it's the immediate moment that every switch flips. I cannot tell you how many times I've locked in because someone said, oh, well, you probably can't do that. Oh, it's not really feasible. It's not really in your back. No, dog. On numerous occasions, it's like, wait, you think I can't do that? Who do you think I am? I'm good with the, like it is those moments where you lock in. And of course, Barou is the perfect instigator for Isagi, right? Because Barou is sort of what Isagi needs to become. Something so So absolutely practical still, but insanely out of the base depths of what one could perceive. If that makes sense. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense for Barou, because that's basically what he is. Barou still operates on a pretty solid and consistent logic. Heck, it was why he was able to be stopped by Hugo. But in that, he has that layer of chaotic unpredictability that Isagi, by steeping himself so deeply into logic, doesn't. But let's see. In this match, you're not... Wait, no. In this match, you're not the king. It's true. It's true. It's true. Right, technically, right now, like, Isagi... Well, funnily enough, I forget. I don't know if this is a pencil original. I think I've taken this from somewhere. But a king is but a dog with a collar upon its head. And essentially, that's what Isagi is right now. He was the king of Blue Lock. He was the dog with a collar upon his head, but now it's sunk down to his neck. Now Hugo's got him by the chain, holding Isagi back. In both confusing him and also literally physically holding him back sometimes. And Isagi needs to overcome that. He needs to find a way to circumvent the reality that's been placed upon him. And let's see how he does it. Let's see. Barou? Can he instinctively sense how weak my vision of the future? Well, if not instinctively sense, he knows you, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like everyone's probably had a moment in their life where someone you really know, or even sometimes it's people you don't really know all too well, but you know enough about them, where you can sort of tell that they're off their game that day. Sometimes you don't comment on it, depending on the situation, but if it's really bad, like, I've had moments where I've been like, you good? And there have been moments where I've been having a day, and people are like, Pencil, you good? Like it is a thing that happens, and it is honestly a true sign of friendship and understanding, right? For someone to notice, especially when you're trying to do your best to not show that something's off, that they can still see something's off with you. That goes to show how well they know you. And this is a huge sign of respect. Let's see. Time to find new prey. Guess I'm on my own to find someone worth devouring. But you know what? I do like that. I like the idea that Barou, funnily enough, in a very similar way to a Hiyori or a Sei, where they're like, hey, I'm going to serve up the best striker I can. I'm going to create the #1 player in the world. That's their main thing. For Barou, he wants to devour, to consume, to nibble. Okay, not nibble, but to consume someone, not even greater than himself, but to consume someone's reality and make it his own by proxy. That is all truly what Barou is. And it is interesting to see him take a very similar role. A king following the kingmakers, if you will. With this idea of Barou diving in to find something worth devouring. Because Isagi, he's clearly not enough anymore. He's no longer a king to be devoured. Let's see. Oh! Okay, Karasu. Let's see. Isagi and I are alike. Yeah, funnily enough, it is a parallel that doesn't actually get mentioned all too often, but they are pretty similar. Let's see. We have the same soccer IQ. I wouldn't. Where's my controller? Where's my controller? I wouldn't. Karasu. Oh, wow, it's really sitting right in front of me. Karasu, I wouldn't say all that, brother. I wouldn't say all that. I think Isagi better. Let's see. We have the same soccer IQ. We keep in Blue Lock with the same worries. Both being mediocre. Let's see. Like him, I want to be a striker, but there was an uncomfortable gap between my dream and the roles I got stuck filling in. My desires don't match my capabilities. I know that all too well. I'm best at manipulating the ball in the midfield and setting up balanced attacks. I'm suited to being a midfielder. Even so, I couldn't give up on my dream of being a striker. Wait, what does it say? Higher, my lumps of talent. Which is why I fought so hard to stay in Blue Lock. But bit by bit, the gap between... Oh, so you acknowledge that there's a gap. Let's see. But bit by bit, the gap between me and Isagi has grown. And before I knew it, Isagi was the striker in the spotlight. It angers me, but I got stuck in the shadows. But you know what? It is very interesting, right? Obviously, I don't think they're actually direct equals. I think Karasu has his ups over Isagi, and I think Isagi has his ups over Karasu. But it is true, right? I think of it many times in my own life where I've had like an equivalent, essentially, right? Actual, I don't have a twin, but I had someone who matched my capabilities, matched my knowledge, matched everything, but their weakness was, or not even weakness, right? Because I wouldn't classify, quote unquote, fully like actualizing yourself in a certain location as a weakness. I'd say it's more so a character trait, right? If you couldn't tell, I love to yap, and I'm not afraid about yapping to anyone, and I'm definitely not afraid to ask for stuff. The one thing I've learned as I've gotten older and older in life is, man, a lot of things can change if you just ask for it, right? Yeah, not be polite about it. Don't be like, hey, give me this. Be like, hey, can such and such happen? And that's what you do. That's how you move, right? You gotta understand that people are like, they're interactable. it's funny because I'm talking like in like a video game sense, but people are truly interactable, and the role you play, even according to your disposition and your abilities, can be fundamentally different from what you actually end up doing. These things happen, and it's interesting to see Karasu sort of deal with the idea that because he so emphasized himself on being mediocre, right? Since he accepted his station so much, he fell behind Isagi, who refused to be trapped by his station. Even as much as he struggled, it didn't matter to Isagi. He was like, I'm doing this, and I'm going to do it my way. And he did. Meanwhile, Karasu sort of locked out. He's still goated, but he's not as goated as he could be. What's it? I've been wondering, what does Isagi have that I don't? Even if I manage to hang on, when am I going to see the light of day? Well, Isagi does he has the goal. Unironically, I'd say if there's one thing Isagi has the goal, the willingness to do the absurd, especially for someone of his ilk and his background, right? That is what Isagi has. That is what Isagi is. He is a being who, I don't want to just say believes in his own hype. He manifests his own hype, right? And that's one of the big things that I always push, right? Especially when people ask me, "Hey, how do you get into content creation?" Especially back in the days where you don't have anybody responding or doing anything like that. You believe in yourself. It's so corny. It sounds so anime, but like, it's true. You be your own hype man. You generate your own belief. You self-actualize. I'm not saying you don't have to fully self-actualize. Heck, funnily enough, the whole sword thing was meant to be a one-off bit. It's now infused in me because of how much it's become a part of. I have it on me and I keep it on me. That's just a part of the lore now because of things beyond me. But still, a lot of my own determinations and my own willingness to keep moving forward in spite of a lack of obvious results is that sort of gall, is that sort of egoistic desire to actualize to a point where people have to acknowledge me. And that's what Isagi has that Karasu didn't and doesn't. And it seems like now he's diving, or at least considering diving even further into that isolation. But we'll see. I'm grateful to Ego-san for bringing me to this stage, but do I need Ego-san's philosophy anymore? Can't help but wondering. If you embrace your destiny as second best, bluelock can get stronger. That's why Hugo's words struck so deep. I mean, that is very interesting, right? Obviously, I do agree. Like, the one of many ASMR brought this up. This idea that egoism as it stands right now, as potent as it could be in like its most absolute and purest form, like the idea that I mentioned, where you actualize yourself to your utmost of ability within the world that you manifest, right? So like, if you're gonna be the number one striker, be the number one striker to the best of your abilities. Number one midfielder, to the best of your ability. Number one defender, to the best of your ability. And believe in yourself to that point that you manifest that reality through sheer force of will. But egoism, as Ego just recently described it, and as seemingly everyone understands it, I get why it would need a sort of evolution. It needs, funnily enough, it needs to be broken free of the shackles of itself, right? The idea of, oh, be the greatest you are, but also be a striker. It does need that little bit of extra fluidity. But, of course, is the answer to that suitable destiny theory? I'm still not entirely sure. I feel like egoism can almost evolve on its own without suitable destiny. Since egoism, in a certain way, at least with how ego's been running the Blue Lock of Japan, it is that, like, hybrid evolved philosophy where you're supposed to actualize yourself into the greatest form. Also while being a striker. Let's see. Oh, Metavision. I didn't even hit me that Karasu used Metavision. Let's see. Ego struck so deep. It made sense to me. Over here, Chameleon. This is bluelock's limit with Isagi's number 1. With the current Isagi's number 1, I agree. That I will agree with the current Isagi. But the thing about Isagi, and he is the adaptation man. Like genuinely and unironically, he is the adaptation man. And him consistently evolving forces everyone else to evolve to keep up. So this idea that Bluelock has hit its limit with Isagi as number 1, not necessarily, because I feel like Isagi can still keep growing. Rin at number 1 though. I don't know, man. I haven't seen that guy all chapter. Let's see. Thanks, Karasu. So if I'm second best, I can change Bluelock. You can. You can't. Well, like, will it be for the better? It's hard. I mean, if it's just Karasu, I guess it's fine, but still, something like that could very easily spread out like a weed. But I don't know. Let's see. You really are good. Tabiso Karasu. And see, like, and that's the even harder thing, right? Like, Karasu not only just having his foundations and his faith in Ego isn't being shaken by, unironically, Ego himself, by Hugo, and then he goes through this weird sort of ego death, then actually succeeds within that, and then the same guy who put him on to ball knowledge is like, yes, absolutely, you really are good with the sauce. Like, it is crazy to think, but it is true that Hugo, he does seemingly respect another team when they're willing to fold to his ideals in particular. Seemingly enough. Let's see. I don't think this method is a complete answer. Oh, okay, so even Karasu knows, for right now, this isn't, like, it's gonna work in this moment, but it definitely requires more tweaking and evolution and rationalization, I think. So that makes sense. I'm glad. Let's see. But for now, oh, real quick, it's a choice for the future, where I don't have to give up my dream on being the world's best striker. There. Okay, so see, okay, so he has a little bit of that dog in him. He's still talking about the future, not necessarily the present, but still, he has a little bit of that dog in him. But let's see. Nice change up. Pass, darn it. Let's go wandering on. If I can create a goal here and now, I can beat Isagi. I'll turn it all around. You know, it is, I don't know, because I think of the people who aren't my direct equals or rivals or even people beneath me. I think of when I say I think of something, I think of Karasu so hyper-focused on Isagi that feeding him is now part of his goal. And that reminds me of times that I'd see other people obsess over overcoming a specific obstacle that almost wasn't meant to be overcome, or simply wasn't in the stage to be overcome. That's kind of how I feel like Karasu is here. Right? Yeah, sure. He'll surpass Isagi in this moment. But just like Nagi before him, beating Isagi in this moment will not be enough. You need to beat Isagi forever. And ultimately, I don't. Karasu, I don't really see you doing that, brother. Let's see. I'll turn it around. Bluelock is going to be my team. But see, that idea of ownership and leadership, that being a driving force and factor. That is true, though. It is almost natural, at least from what I've seen, for people to seek power, to seek dominance, to seek to be the apex of something. Even if it is a small world beyond this, it is something deep to one's core to have some sort of control over something. Doesn't even have to be anything major, but Karasu obviously wanted to control the entire team is major, and I wonder if he'll succeed, because let's see, he is passing. Woo, ball. All right, all the way through. What? Poor Charles. No emoji talk though. Woo! Let's see. An impeccably timed forward pass. It's going to, those are, flow eyes, Karasu, flow eyes, come on, flow eyes. Let's see. Isagi. Well, there you go. Isagi. My secret weapon is him. The demon you can't handle. I guess, yeah, in a way. My egotism is ready to burst. Burst. All right. A pretty meaty chapter too. Hold on. That was so weak. Wait. That was so weak. Hold on. A W chapter. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, please leave rising demons, because that's essentially what she was doing. Here's a rising demon, but leave rising demons in the comment section down below. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Back on the Pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our sketch tier members: Eternal Flame, Red Wolf 4765, Astro, Glacier XZ, Zera, J2MA, Buddha Ura, Yuki Ally, Grim, Ollie, The Boy, Corey Watson, Damon Brown, Tim Thomas, Kaving, ORXN, Logan Guzman, Dead Mean, Keon Stewart, DNA, Edwin Ingbignoba, Straw, Antavius Mitchell, Superflame Zero, Weary Exile, Alex Kenny, Todd, The Practical One, Landon Clapwick, Heath Nelson, CAET, Plant Crone, Blast, Brandon Payne, Black Sage, Multi-Batman Superman, Zalims, Joe Bean, Sleepin' John, The Young Family Pastel Pandora, Mosity King DKG, Andreen Bonnet, Akolare Babatunde, at JDog2656, Union Eye, Funny Dude, Athenzi Shear, Magic, Sino King, Sheesh King, Aswin Heriprasetia, JMB, KD, CCC, Enzo, Kitty Liddy, Droll Harris, Dino, Victor Jacobs, and Axis XC. Then, let me thank you to our line art tier patrons: A+A, Dread Zoan, Kevin the Encarnacion, Lil Kodo, Midnight Lord 21, and Sean. Then, I'd like to thank you to our Ink tier members: Shrimpo the 4th Shrimp 06. Then I'd like to thank our digital art tier members: J Warrior and AZ Void. I'd like to give a final thank you to our colored art tier patrons: Walkie Munoz and Walkie Munoz.